blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No, it isn't. Please, no.
Yes. He had won.
I won?
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
What?
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Ooh.
Where had his co-workers gone?
Hey Neff here, so I just want to say a quick thing before the video starts. There's not gonna be a camera since my iPad, I don't know why, it's being stupid right now. Let's continue. Hey Neff here, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. So I've got a little I got a comment saying that I should play this game, and honestly I wonder how this goes. Hold on, first I need to change that resolution real quick, because the resolution here sucks. Aspect ratio. There we go, that's better. There we go, that's way better. Extras, achievements, and saves. Yeah, no, I don't think Why am I hearing voices? Like, yo. The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
No, I'm not. Wait, hold on. Oh, now I'm Stanley. Hold on, give me a minute. Okay, give me a minute. No, not audio. You know what? Hear me out. Yeah, closed captions. I like closed captions. What is this? Oh, this is the computer. Okay, let me get out of here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, I have
not. No
not.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What the heck is that? I wanna know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I do not, in fact.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Honestly,
it had really been worth the detour after all.
This looks pretty
just
cool.
to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
I want to sit here. No,
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Stanley was so bad. The heck is this? Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, 1,000. Penalty of jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. I'm gonna jump. Ah! Just kidding.
Look, Stan. Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
No, I cannot. It literally says that I'll get like...
Come on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Shut up! I'll do it!
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
I'm gonna strangle you, mister. I don't know what's your name. The end is never the end is never the end is never the end! I might stop listening.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I get it. You want me to go on the door on my left. And what is this?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Meeting room.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
4XX.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
Cabal
hoping he
planning.
might find an answer there.
Okay. Get... No, I'm not getting him out of the closet! Get out of the closet now. I'm telling you, get out of the... Get out of the broom closet right now before I fire you! I am the manager! Come here! The feature was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Yo! Yo! On your boss appreciation minute worksheet, circle it. Okay. Bi-quarterly. What? Throw something on the ideas bin. Dan! No more bins. 20 remain. Okay, yeah, I do not get it. Chris?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but
Chris?
there was nothing here.
Chris?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Did you kill them?
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
I do not
What
know.
he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course,
2845.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
What am I gonna use that code for? Now, can I get out of the... Piano. I can play the piano.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Where? What device, dude? That's a suitcase.
2845.
What? Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Hold on. 2, 8, 4, 5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
What? Newly opened. Oh my. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hold on. What is in here? I'm not going there. No. Let me out.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Babble, babble. What is this?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Can I please?
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Wonder what this is. This is a camera.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
So this is what the boss was hiding from me. Great, I love this. Wow, perfect.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Yes.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Ow, my eyes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Mind controls idle waiting input.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
No, it isn't. Please, no.
Yes. He had won.
I won?
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
What?
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
Ooh.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But
I don't
as
know.
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go,
Yo.
what to do. or
Why does
how
this
to
look
feel.
so beautiful?
Whatever life he
No,
lives,
stop.
it will
That
be
looks
his.
beautiful.
And that was all he needed to know.
I love it.
It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation. the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I beat the game. I beat the game.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, we get it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
I'm dreaming. This is all a dream.
Back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
I don't know what's going
How
on.
well the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No, I'm not.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
And everything went black. Literally. Again.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
That's Stanley.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What? I'm in this office again! I'm gonna end the video here, I guess. If anyone enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment, do whatever. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!